The idea that there must be no more than 100 feet between boxes on a conduit run is a misconception. This requirement is not found in the National Electrical Code. The NEC does not specify a maximum distance between boxes based solely on the length of the conduit run. Instead, the code focuses on supporting the conduit to prevent physical damage and to ensure it remains securely in place. The relevant sections of the NEC address conduit support, and these sections vary depending on the type and size of the conduit. For example, rigid metal conduit, or RMC, has different support requirements than electrical metallic tubing, or EMT. Similarly, PVC conduit has its own set of rules. To understand the proper support requirements, you must consult the specific articles in Chapter 3 of the NEC that pertain to the type of conduit you are using. These articles outline the maximum spacing between supports, such as conduit straps or hangers, to maintain the conduit's structural integrity. The NEC specifies different support requirements for different types of conduit. For example, for rigid metal conduit, sizes 1/2 inch through 1 inch must be supported at intervals not exceeding 10 feet. For sizes 1/4 inch through 2 inch, the maximum support interval is 12 feet. For sizes 1/2 inch through 3 inch, the maximum interval is 14 feet. And for sizes 1/2 inch and larger, the maximum support interval is 16 feet. Electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, has different support requirements. For EMT, the general rule is that it must be supported at intervals not exceeding 10 feet. However, there are exceptions for certain situations. For example, if the EMT is installed in a location where it is not subject to physical damage, the support interval can be increased to 10 feet. Intermediate metal conduit, or IMC, has support requirements similar to rigid metal conduit. The maximum support intervals for IMC are the same as those for RMC. PVC conduit, or polyvinyl chloride conduit, has its own unique support requirements due to its different physical properties. PVC conduit is more susceptible to thermal expansion and contraction than metal conduits, so the support requirements are designed to accommodate these changes in length. The NEC specifies different support intervals for PVC conduit depending on the size of the conduit and the ambient temperature. For example, for PVC conduit sizes 1/2 inch through 1 inch, the maximum support interval is typically 3 feet at temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. For larger sizes or higher temperatures, the support interval may need to be reduced. When determining the location of pull boxes, junction boxes, and conduit bodies, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the maximum length of conduit runs between pulling points is limited to ensure that conductors can be pulled through the conduit without exceeding the maximum pulling tension. Secondly, the number of bends in a conduit run is also limited. The NEC specifies that the total amount of bends between pulling points shall not exceed 360 degrees. This includes all bends, offsets, and conduit bodies. Thirdly, the size and type of conductors being installed must be considered. Larger conductors and conductors with thicker insulation require larger conduit sizes and may necessitate more frequent pulling points. Fourthly, the accessibility of the boxes and conduit bodies must be considered. Boxes and conduit bodies must be accessible for inspection, maintenance, and future modifications. The NEC contains specific requirements for the working clearances around electrical equipment, and these clearances must be maintained for all boxes and conduit bodies. Fifthly, the environmental conditions in the area where the conduit is installed must be considered. In wet or corrosive locations, special boxes and conduit bodies that are designed to withstand these conditions must be used. These boxes and conduit bodies are typically made of non-corrosive materials such as stainless steel or fiberglass. In addition to the NEC requirements, local codes and regulations may impose additional restrictions on conduit installations. It is important to consult with the local electrical inspector to ensure that all applicable codes and regulations are being followed. Some jurisdictions may have stricter rules regarding conduit support, box spacing, or the types of materials that can be used. Understanding the specific requirements for each type of conduit is crucial for ensuring a safe and compliant installation. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and consult with a qualified electrical inspector if you have any questions or concerns. To clarify, the absence of a 100-foot maximum spacing rule in the NEC doesn't mean you can run conduit for unlimited distances without support or pulling point. The code emphasizes proper support at specified intervals to maintain the conduit's structural integrity and limitations on the number of bends and pulling tension to ensure safe and efficient conductor installation. The maximum pulling tension on conductors is a critical factor in determining the placement of pull boxes and conduit bodies. Exceeding the maximum pulling tension can damage the conductors, leading to insulation failures and potential electrical hazards. The maximum pulling tension depends on the size and type of the conductors, as well as the type of lubricant used. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating the maximum pulling tension, and these guidelines should be followed carefully. When pulling conductors through long conduit runs with multiple bends, it is often necessary to use pulling lubricants to reduce friction and minimize the pulling tension. There are many different types of pulling lubricants available, and it is important to choose a lubricant that is compatible with the type of conductors being installed. Some lubricants can damage certain types of insulation, so it is essential to read the manufacturer's instructions carefully. In addition to the NEC, other industry standards and best practices provide guidance on conduit installations. These standards may offer more detailed recommendations on conduit support, box placement, and conductor pulling techniques. For example, the National Electrical Contractors Association, or NECA, publishes standards that cover various aspects of electrical construction, including conduit installations. Consulting these standards can help ensure that the installation is performed in a safe and efficient manner. In summary, while the 100-foot rule is a common misconception, it is essential to understand the actual requirements for conduit support, box placement, and conductor pulling. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC, consult with a qualified electrical inspector, and follow industry best practices to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Proper conduit installation is crucial for protecting conductors, preventing physical damage, and ensuring the long-term reliability of the electrical system. Neglecting these requirements can lead to costly repairs, electrical hazards, and potential safety risks. Therefore, it is essential to prioritize safety and compliance in all conduit installations. Remember to always energize the circuit before working on any electrical equipment, and use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves and safety glasses. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to prevent accidents. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your conduit installations are safe, compliant, and reliable.